Martell Holt has returned to the news, this time pleading for his ex-wife Melody's return after being humiliated and heartbroken. Martell and Melody Holt were more than just co-stars on a reality show. They were creating a legacy, and they had all the makings of a power couple. However, their marriage was failing behind the scenes. Everything was destroyed when Martell's affair, which he had attempted to conceal for years, was revealed. Even in the face of all these rumors, Melody had been working to keep the family united. But after everything was revealed, things became very serious. She left the betrayal, the disrespect, and the emotional turmoil behind rather than simply ending a relationship. Years of dishonesty, broken promises, and public humiliation were involved. It wasn't just about cheating. Martell was still clinging to a non-existent version of the past, while Melody was rebuilding her life and safeguarding her children. Melody made the decision to choose her peace. The wounds, however, never truly healed, and Martell never moved on, even after the camera stopped rolling. Ariane Curry, the woman from the affair that ended his marriage, was the one Martell leaned into after the divorce, so he didn't exactly vanish from the dating scene. Nor did that relationship bring peace. On the contrary, it made matters worse. Following their child's birth, Martell found herself torn between two worlds as she co-parented with Melody and navigated the emotional roller coaster of being a new baby mama. Not only was it disorganized, but the drama was constant. Fans were tired of their tense, contentious, and taboo relationship, and Ariane wasn't afraid to voice his opinions either. They were fed up with seeing Martell repeatedly make the same errors he was repeating, and many thought he wasn't learning. Afterwards, when it was reported that Martell was seeing other women, people thought perhaps he was doing better. However, that too faded. The fact that nothing was sticking became evident. His pattern of alternating between relationships was driving him farther into chaos rather than closer to happiness. And when Martell's most recent relationship ended, he lost more than just a companion, he also lost his last control. Martell's behavior in public has changed recently, whether it's going live on Instagram to express his emotions, sharing ambiguous sayings about regret and family, or doing interviews that are full of heartfelt admissions. He's obviously having problems. He has been expressing sentiments such as missing his family and wanting another opportunity. However, it seems too little too late to many viewers. It's obvious the man is in pain. However, the fact that this pain was self-inflicted is also difficult to deny. It has been reported that friends and family have advised him to move on, but he is not listening. His behavior appears to be stuck in a rut, reaching out to Melody, revisiting the past, and then pulling back just enough to cause confusion. Even though he knows he doesn't want to be alone, it seems like he is unable to identify what he truly wants. But Melody has been calm, focused, and unflappable. She isn't reverting to her old habits, and perhaps the loudest message of all is that she is staying silent. Not merely a moment of weakness, it marked the beginning of a full-scale public breakdown. Melody has maintained her composure throughout Martell's presence here. She hasn't retaliated in interviews or attacked on social media. She has been responding with the ultimate response instead, which is silence. And to be honest, silence speaks louder than words. Melody has chosen to keep her attention on her children, her work, and her recovery. Her Instagram shows that she is traveling, dropping music, promoting her brand, and being a full-time mother, all without any drama or mess, just peace. Sometimes she posts a quote or a subtle caption that fans assume is directed at Martell, but it's never messy, it's always wrapped in confidence and class, and occasionally there's just enough criticism to keep people talking. She's gotten really good at answering without actually answering, and her fans are divided. According to some, she is acting appropriately by maintaining her distance and refusing to back down. Comments like, "she deserves better," have become frequent under her post. But some people believe that perhaps there is still hope, that perhaps Martell could change, that perhaps he simply needed to reach his lowest point. Melody's energy hasn't changed yet. She's no longer entertaining the circus and is living her life as if she had locked the door behind her. Martell believed that things couldn't get any worse, but then Hill Harper appeared. Everyone was shocked by this next bit. Rumors that Melody was connected to actor and activist Hill Harper suddenly began to circulate. People began searching online, examining posts, comparing timelines, and even retrieving images of the two grinning too comfortably. Just enough to get people to look twice, nothing outrageous or unsuitable. Fans soon began to speculate that there might be something going on behind the scenes. Covert meals, peaceful getaways, and private assistance. Was this merely Hill being a supportive friend during a difficult period, or was there more going on here? Conversely, Martell hasn't said much, but some think that might be the most obvious indication that he was taken by surprise. His demeanor changed. The tone of his social media posts shifted from blame and rage to regret and longing, and they began to sound more desperate. Instead of merely attempting to win Melody back, it seemed as though he was attempting to win her over to someone else. And if Hill is actually present, even merely as a friend, it adds a whole new level of complexity. Seeing someone else potentially take Melody's place and treat her the way he was never able to is what is now causing Martell's heartbreak, not just the loss of Melody. Martell's request for forgiveness could now be motivated by retaliation as much as love. Let's have a moment of reality. You have to wonder why Martell is genuinely attempting to win Melody back at this point. Although he appears to be saying all the right things, that he wants to be a better man, that he misses his family, and that he's sorry for what he did to her, it's possible that a part of him actually means those things. Perhaps guilt has finally caught up with him. But there's more to it than that. Social media drama, failed relationships, and cheating scandals have all negatively impacted Martell's public image. Fans no longer support him as they did in the past. Someone who is accustomed to being in the spotlight may find that kind of loss intolerable, as he has lost control of the story. Everyone is beginning to question whether he is pursuing Melody out of genuine love or if he is merely pursuing the person he was with at the time. On social media, fans were arguing about his earlier days when he was respected, regarded as a family man, and had it all. He's finally waking up, according to some, while others believe he's trying to improve his reputation. However, it's evident that Martell is losing more than just Melody. He's losing the sense of control he's clung to for years. Realistically, though, this might not even be about Melody. Rather, it might be about Martell losing attention. There's no denying that the internet has taken sides and has been vocal about it. When Martell's public outburst began, many people rolled their eyes. After he started posting heartfelt messages about missing his family, tearful interviews, and emotional Instagram lives, people began to take notice. The majority of fans, however, have been with Melody throughout the divorce, following her personal and professional changes from raising her children alone to starting her own businesses and avoiding drama. It is indisputable that Melody has changed. It is respected that she is viewed as a woman who was betrayed but rose above it and refused to let it define her. The respect has only grown because of her shameful and composed silence. On the other hand, some people express sympathy for Martell, saying that it takes courage to own up to your mistakes in such a public way. There are even those who think he's truly sorry and that he may have learned from it. Quotations such as, "At least he's trying now." Otherwise, the phrase "people can change" has begun to appear beneath his posts. It conveys empathy while also serving as a cautionary tale to avoid reverting to outdated habits. It gets complicated here, though, because the fan base is divided. The greatest argument, to be honest, has been between those who claim he has changed and those who claim he is only sorry he was caught. Is it regret or is this growth? Is it Melody he's missing or is it the version of himself that was attractive beside her? People are scrutinizing every post, every caption, and every interview pause, and the more they delve, the more it seems like this has evolved into a full-fledged public opinion war rather than just a private love story. And with the entire world looking on, it's obvious that this love story is far from finished. What are they going to do next? Co-parenting is the only thing that has been a constant between them thus far, and even that hasn't always gone smoothly. Public arguments concerning child support, custody, and other aspects of raising children have occurred over the years. They appear to have been making an effort to keep those discussions private lately, though, and that may be the only explanation for the recent calm. However, with Martell showing his emotions so openly once more, many are questioning whether a reunion is truly possible. For some fans, the answer is no. They believe that Melody deserves a new partner who won't make the same mistakes again because too much harm has been done and trust shattered. But for others, they still see that spark. They think there might be a chance if Martell shows that he has changed. Next comes the Hill Harper twist, which alters everything if he has even a passing relationship with Melody. In addition to heartbreak, jealousy could have been the cause of Martell's emotional outburst. However, that begs the question, will he speak up? He hasn't spoken up yet, but if he does, it might diffuse the situation or start a whole new flame. In the end, nobody can predict whether they will make amends or simply try to keep things amicable for the children, but one thing is certain, reconciliation or retaliation, this messy reality saga isn't finished writing its last chapter. Martell Holt's emotional appeal to Melody and public breakdown demonstrate how far things have gone wrong. The damage is already done, regardless of whether he has actually changed or is merely running around trying to repair his reputation. In contrast, Melody seems to be going for peace. However, what is the duration of the silence? Who do you support? Would it be Melody or Martell? And do you believe that they have any chance left? Leave a comment below, subscribe for more in-depth analyses, and remember to click the notification bell to ensure you don't miss the next step.